Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video we'll have another BiLock. This time this is the ASIO BiLock. ASIO being the Australian Security Intelligence Organization. This is apparently a special kind of BiLock that the ASIO uses in their systems, and it has a couple of key differences that makes this lock unique and probably a bit harder than your usual BiLocks. Unfortunately, we won't start by inspecting the key since I do not have one, but if I did, there would be one major difference that we would be able to see right away, but we can demonstrate it on the plug. And as you can see, these pins are offset, so they're not symmetrical like in your other BiLocks. So the bitting on the key would represent that offset positioning, and this is to make the key copying actually harder. So that's difference number one. Difference number two from some BiLocks is that there is an extra chamber in here which controls an interactive pin. I will talk about it a bit later. And the most important difference from other BiLocks is in the pins themselves. I will talk about it in just a while as well. So let's go back to the housing. This looks like a cam lock that only turns 90 degrees to whichever side you want. Depends on this rotation limiter, how you install it to the tailpiece. Looking inside of this, we can see that there are three channels for the sidebar. So two of them are actually opposite each other. That's the default lock position, but as you pick the lock and you turn it by some, I don't know, 15 degrees, it actually relocks on this side. So you have to pick one side one more time to make the complete 90 degrees rotation. So that's interesting. Here's our plug. So I already mentioned that we have 13 chambers and 12 of them are offset. The one in the front belongs to the interactive pin. There's of course two slots for sidebars and your typical faceplate with this center post, so nothing too out of the ordinary looking from the front. Now I think this is a good time to demonstrate how the interactive element works. So of course we have this sidebar that is placed here. We can see 6 holes inside of this channel. So into these 6 holes go these 6 prongs of the sidebar, and behind these holes of course we have the pins that want to expose their through gates to the sidebar, but they need to be lifted to a certain height. So of course when that happens, the sidebar can sink inside of the channel and the plug can turn. But on this right side of the plug we have this extra slot for the interactive element. So I will just demonstrate what it looks like and how it works. So this tiny pin, actually this is not that tiny, is positioned in front of the lock. So this is the thing that you manipulate with the key or with the pick. This square shaped part is what protrudes into the keyway, and on top of this pin we have some kind of a gate, as you can see. So let's put this just inside of the plug. Now there it is. So normally it rests like here somewhere behind this center post, and it's spring loaded and it's exposing its through gate towards this slot when the key is inserted. If it's not inserted, of course it's not exposing the through gate, and this almost like a sword looking thing is inserted here. And now I will try to couple these two pins. It's actually harder than it looks, especially when I have to do it on camera, but I will manage to do it. Nice. Alright, so we have our locked position. So in locked position, this pin actually rests in here, and even if you set all these pins correctly, the sidebar will not be able to sync into this channel because of this pin, because it's actually blocking the full collapse of the sidebar inside, like this. Okay, let me just demonstrate if I can position the sidebar correctly, right? Okay, yeah, like this. So it's basically in the way, right? It cannot completely finish the collapse, the sidebar. But if you lift this interactive, or the key does, what happens is that this little pin lifts as well. It goes out of the way into a little channel that's in here. So thanks to that, the sidebar can sync in here. And that's how the interactive works basically. So that's one thing that's interesting in this lock. And the other thing that's probably the most important is that unlike other BiLocks, nice, this one has 2 false gates and 1 true gate. All the other BiLocks have only 1 false gate. So if you have a max lift, you need to go through 2 false gates. So yeah, that's actually a big deal because it makes the picking a lot more complicated and maybe even a bit longer in some cases. But actually the principles of picking it are the same. So the sides sort of isolate, but in this case I had to do a little bit of jumping from right side to left side. I think it's because of the 2 false gates. So some of the pins sort of I placed them in the first false gate, and the other side bound, suddenly the false gate starting to bite on the other side, and so on. So the isolation was not that clear like in other BiLocks. And another thing that's interesting is that, well, interesting, it's actually pretty normal for BiLocks. The whole lock acts, of course, tapered, so you need to just go through those pins like many times until they are all set. And I think this is because if I could, I will use like a lot more tension on this lock. But you know, there is this delicate center post that can actually break if you use too much tension. Even if you tension it correctly. Correctly means if you go clockwise, you put your tensioner to the left side and counterclockwise to the right. Even if you do that, I think too much tension would actually damage it. But if I could, I would like tension the hell out of this lock and it would be a lot faster. But you know, I couldn't, and nobody should for that matter, because of how the face of the lock is designed. So yeah, pretty cool pick actually. I really enjoy locks like this. Some people hate when everything is tapered, but I like making this like small progress. Almost like it's almost like very relaxing for me. And this lock definitely did feel like it. It was a pretty good experience because there's a lot of clicks, a lot of feedback, a lot of little plug turns, you know. So that's what I like. Definitely recommend picking this lock. And for picking it, in this case, I used this Moki pick. I feel like I use this for almost everything. This is the one with the flat top, the shallow one. And to tension it, more Moki products, the 1.3mm pry bar. I feel like the bitting I got, I swear I didn't change it, was actually pretty easy, because the max lifts were in the front and the min lifts in the back, so you know, I could just swap it around since this is keyless, but maybe someone has a key somewhere. I don't know. I need to return this lock to someone, so I will not do it. But the bitting was actually kind of easy. I think I would have a lot more problems if it was a bit different. But I will take it anyway. It's a BiLock, so pretty cool. All right, I think we can go ahead and get it picked. All right, here we go. So counterclockwise is not an option since the limiter is set to clockwise. So we will put the tensioner in the left side and start testing those pins. So 1, 2, 3, not much. 4 little, super little feedback. 6 and 5, nothing there. And yeah, now 2 is binding. Okay, super small click, little co-rotation. 1 is good, 2 is good, 3 is good. Now I'm just scrubbing those back pins since these are some low lifts. Okay, back to 1, 2 and click on 3. 1, 2 and nothing on 3. 4, clicky sound, 5 and 6 as well. Back to 1, 2 and 3. Clicky sound on 4, on 5 and on 6 as well. So I believe we can move to the left side now, just as the interactive, but not much happening there. So 1, 2, 3 nothing, 4 nothing, 5 clicking and something out of 6 and more co-rotation. So that's good. Yes, so we will just continue on the left side then. 1 and 2 nothing, 3 is binding, kinda hard binding. Okay, now it should be set, at least for now. 4 nothing, 5 and 6, clicky sound. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so little something out of 3 and also a super small co-rotation. Okay, I just touched 1, heard a click and more co-rotation. And 1 is binding again, so some feedback there. 2 is binding, click there, let's just set 1 again. Okay, 1 and 2 are good, so 3 as well. 4 is binding, okay, click there, but I heard drop something. 1 is dropped, something there. 2, click there, let's try 1 again. These 2 seems to be playing off each other. Okay, so 1 and 2 are good, 3 is good, 4 I just set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clicky sound on 5. Clicky sound on 6. So the left side, let me just go through there one more time just to make sure. Left side looks good. Let's touch the interactive. Okay. What about the right side? Let's go back there. 1, 2, 3, all springy. 4, kinda springy. I will leave him. 5. Okay, little click. 6 is good. Another click on 1. 2 is springy. 3, click there. More co-rotation. Okay. Some movement on the core after touching the interactive. I think we're pretty close to getting the lock to first position. Okay, 6 is clicking. 5 is clicking. Let's try the left side. Small click on 1. 2 is binding. Okay. we have the lock picked in first position. Now this sidebar engaged again, so we need to pick the right side now. It should be easier because the feedback will be clearer because this side is not interfering. We'll click out 1 and 2, clicking on 4, 5 and 6 as well. Let's go again, click on 1, 2 is good, 3 is binding, click there, let's try 1 again, it's good, 4 good, 5 and 6 should be good, 1, 2, 3, okay, something out of 5 co-rotation. I think we're down to 1 pin remaining, 3 is binding, click there, still nothing, click on 1 and there's the 90 degrees. So yeah, I believe that's the lock picked, but let's just turn it back to the original position. So let's put the tensioner to the right side, now relock, and of course we have to deal with the right side again. Shouldn't be too hard. That is a bit different since we're going the opposite direction, but the pins need to be lifted to the same heights. Okay, 1 is binding pretty hard, actually gave me counter rotation, which is not that usual in this lock. The back pins are getting set slowly. I will increase the tension just a little bit, just to improve the feedback and cut down the time this takes to turn. Okay, and we're back to position locked. Perfect. So I think it's time we got this lock. So let's just prepare the tools. Okay, so we have this and this, and I think that's pretty much all. Maybe the hook will be needed. Yes, sorry, autofocus. And let's look down a little. This should be good. Alright, so this nut goes off. Oops. This, maybe a washer goes off. This rotation limiter goes off. And now we can easily slide the core out. Of course, be mindful of the sidebars. And there's the plug out. So let's just deal with the sidebars first. So there's the, where are the tweezers here? So the left sidebar goes out. And there's the interactive. I will leave it for now. The right sidebar goes out. Oops. Okay. No springs lost. Yeah, I guess I could just remove the interactive now. Okay, so it's here and here. And the spring as well. Come on. That's easier. Okay, so this crimped blade is actually not that elegant to remove because it takes a long time until you can catch it from here because of the tail piece. So it's good to use something with 2 prongs like the tweezers to push it out, because there is this little protrusion that covers the interactive chamber. So yeah, this is probably the best way how to push it out. It's not the most elegant, that's clear. And I also don't wanna like warp the springs. Oh, it actually goes out like this, so that's good. Okay, perfect. Play this out. Okay, now springs warped. Always nice to see. Now I will just remove them. This might take a while. Oops, almost I put the plug almost out of the frame. What a beginner's mistake. Okay. Always kinda nervous when two springs get convoluted like that. It can be really explosive as you try to unwind them off each other. Alright. So far so good. Oh no, these two wanna okay, I prevented that. Okay. Good. Oh, seems to be out. All of the springs. Okay, and now for the pins. So the left side I can put on top. The right side I can put on bottom. And I can continue like this. And hopefully I'll be able to do this in an orderly fashion. This pin is actually not cooperating. I feel better doing it like this actually. Okay, we're approaching the final pin. Yeah, there's the whole lock. Got it. Nice. Okay, it's time for a close-up. There we go. All the pins. Housing, black top plate, sidebars, interactive, and the tailpiece parts. And that pretty much wraps up today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and see you next time, hopefully real soon with the next video. Until then, bye.